10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Lift off for Starlink. Go Falcon. Go Starlink 416.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressure is nominal.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40, carrying our 53 Starlink satellites. Now, although at liftoff gravity is pulling the vehicle straight down, as we ascend, we tilt the engines.
Power and telemetry nominal.
And tilting those engines is called gimbaling. That turns the rocket horizontally, and you can kind of see that there on your screen. So we are still going up, but we're also heading horizontally away from the launch pad. And that is what we call a gravity turn. And we are coming up on max Q here in a few seconds.
Max Q.
And there's that call out that we've just passed through max Q. Now that's the largest structural load that the vehicle sees on ascent, and we have passed through it. So next step will be a series of events. First will be MECO, or main engine cutoff, and that's where all 9 of the Merlin engines will shut down. And that slows the vehicle down in preparation for the second milestone, which
Start
is
of MVAC engine chill.
the second milestone will be stage separation. That's where the first and second stage separate from each other. First stage will start to make its way back to Earth, and the second stage will continue on its journey
Vehicle is following a nominal trajectory.
with SES-1, or second stage engine startup 1. And that's where the single Merlin vacuum engine will light up and propel the second stage along with the Starlink satellites to orbit. We've got some awesome views watching Falcon 9 on ascent. We're just about 15 seconds away from those 3 events: MECO, stage separation, and SES-1. Just about 10 seconds or so after SES-1, we should also see the fairing halves jettison from the second stage.
Main engine cut off. Stage separation confirmed. MVAC ignition. Bearing separation confirmed.
And some incredible views there. We just had MECO's stage separation. You can see those fairing halves on your right-hand screen
Both
falling
vehicles
back
are
to
following
Earth.
nominal trajectories.
And got some nominal call-outs. The MVAC engine lit up on the second stage. The first stage grid fins have deployed. So on your left-hand screen, you're looking at a view from the first stage. On your right-hand screen, you're looking at a view of the MVAC engine on the second stage. While that second stage is doing its job, that first stage is coming back home to Earth, and it'll execute 2 burns to get back home. First is the entry burn, and that's where 3 of the 9 M1D engines reignite, and that helps to slow the stage down as it's entering back into the denser part of the Earth's atmosphere. Then the atmosphere actually helps to scrub a lot of the velocity of the vehicle until the second and final burn, which is the landing burn. That's a single engine burn that brings the vehicle speed down rapidly in order to touch down on the drone ship.
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
And again, today we will be attempting to land on Just Read the Instructions. And each one of these M1D engines is about 190,000 pounds of thrust. So we do only use 1 engine for that final landing burn to touch down on our drone ship. And the drone ship, just for size, is about equivalent to
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
it's equivalent to the size of a football field, so it's pretty large. We're just a couple minutes away from the entry burn starting up on the first stage. First stage also has 4 landing legs made of carbon fiber aluminum honeycomb. And they're placed symmetrically around the Falcon 9 vehicle instead of at the base of the vehicle. They just deploy just right before the vehicle touches down. Got some great views here. Again, on your left-hand screen is a view looking aft, now looking forward of the first stage. And on your right-hand screen, a view of the second stage. Again, looking at the MVAC engine, but we got a great view of the Earth in the background of both of these views. Again, today we are carrying our Starlink satellites to their drop-off orbit. And on your left-hand screen, you might see some white puffs there. There you go. Those are nitrogen gas puffs. Those help with attitude control, as well as the grid fins helping to guide the vehicle back to the landing zone. Everything's still looking nominal. Stage 2 on a nominal trajectory.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 FTS is saved.
And on your left-hand screen, you can see those engines reigniting. This burn will last about 20 seconds long. This is the entry burn for the first stage.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
And as you saw, those engines shut down. That concludes the entry burn.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
And just the callouts that we want to hear, everything is still looking nominal for both vehicles. Now we are just about a minute away from the landing burn beginning on the first stage. Again, as I mentioned, the atmosphere helps to scrub a lot of the velocity as first stage makes its way back to the landing zone after the entry burn has concluded. And we got a great view here of the second stage. And I mentioned that soot earlier on the first stage. As you saw, the vehicle,
Stage 1 transonic.
the first stage vehicle actually enters back into the Earth's atmosphere with the engines first, so it is flying through its own plume. And the fuel for Falcon 9 is a kerosene, which is carbon-based, and that's what creates that soot onto the vehicle. We are coming up on the landing burn here for
Stage
first
1
stage.
landing burn.
Great timing. Landing burn has begun. Again, this will also last about 20 seconds, and we should see the landing legs deploy just before touchdown, and some great views here.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
Incredible
Stage 1
views.
landing confirmed.
Falcon 9 has landed on our drone, so just read the instructions. What an incredible landing. This marks the 117th recovery of a first stage booster. And we are coming up on SECO, which is second stage engine cutoff 1 in a few seconds
Second
here.
engine cut off.